going to be the subject of today's video, and I do get a ton of questions on the subject coming from subscribers and also customers alike. Cars that sit outside or even in a garage or a shop. The simple and quick answer to that question is I don't recommend them. After a quick wash down with a rinseless wash, it doesn't matter what you use. There are many good brands out there. The Uber rinseless wash from Wolfgang's ONR, American Detailer Garage, all excellent products with a ton of lubrication. I will follow that up with clay only where and when it's needed. With the shop manager monitoring my every move, we move on to the next step, and that is to remove bug splatter or maybe tar that's splashed up, any transfer at all, and I'll choose Citral 266 from Schaefer's. Quick tip, this, even though hard to find online, can surprisingly be easily found locally. Check in any local diesel supply or mechanical shop, any ag center, any place that works on tractors, and 9 times out of 10 they will have it on hand and for sale. Now, we're going to move on. The next step is going to be, this actually has gone through many car washes, and I could feel there's a lot of that hot wax stuff that's really popular in a lot of the tunnel washes these days. That can get caught up into your pads, make them not very effective at all. So we want to remove as much of that as possible before the correction, and that will be this step right here. With that step complete, and for that step, I do like IGL Pre-Coat and Geon Prep, my go-to products for a panel prep. Now I can bring you in close and show you the imperfections we're going to be going after: love marks, swirl marks, outlines, and etching from water spots, but more importantly, these wear and tear marks from car covers. This has been from a cheaper cover that has a lot of seams, and without the cover being secure, whether it's inside or out, even the slightest breeze can make them move, rub up against the finishes of your vehicle, all finishes, and wear them down prematurely. So we will correct them. All right, before I move on, I'm going to, as usual, take measurements all the way around the vehicle, make sure all of the panels are uniform. I really don't know, has somebody corrected it before? Did they leave me enough clear coat? Has there been repairs? And right off the bat, this very first panel that I measure, the hood here, I can see that something's off. This type of vehicle in a year, you should have an average of 5 to 5.5 mils of thickness of primer base coat clear coat. And the hood is about 2 mils thicker. I also find that on another panel going around the vehicle, the driver's side rear door. So those 2 panels have been repaired, resprayed, and that's something to look out for. I truly believe anybody that purchases vehicles, is an enthusiast to automobiles, works on their vehicle, should have one of these gauges. You could take it with you when you purchase a vehicle. It will tell you very quickly if a car has been resprayed, has Bondo filler, and can tell you a larger story, give you a larger picture of the vehicle's history. And here again on this panel, you'll see I'll stop and I'll go back and measure again because there's something a little bit off. The thickness of this panel is just slightly more than the rest of the vehicle as a whole. I also follow that up with a gloss meter test. I like to send the car out with triple digit readings on the meter, and you can see here there is plenty of room to work with. Usually 4 or 5 units, each jump 4 or 5 units is visible with the naked eye, so we can do that multiple times here. By the way, I often get a lot of questions on gloss meters and which ones to purchase and look for. You really only need, if you're working on a vehicle, a meter that has 60-degree readings. Sometimes you'll see a 20, 80, 60. Not really necessary unless you're working with multiple surfaces. High reflectivity, you'll look for the 20-degree, but on a car's vehicle, it's kind of medium, so a 60-degree works fine. And once you get used to one unit, you'll know how to utilize it. You don't need a $3,000-$4,000 meter. A lot of individuals I see that have them have no clue how to use them anyway. All right, we'll move along to the test spot, one of the most important part of your correction, finding the team that is effective yet leaves the most amount of clear coat behind. And we're going to start with a very, very non-aggressive team, the Kachikami M302, which is a microcut, a very, very fine abrasive. And we're going to use a pad that's quite soft and non-aggressive, a light polish pad, so just a few steps above the black application pad. Always start there. If that works, hey, fine. You don't need to move on. You don't need a harsh cut compound or a very aggressive pad. So let's see how this team does. All right, with the residue removed, I'll bring you guys in close and you'll see this actually did an excellent job. The imperfections are removed. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it is leaving a slight haze behind. And that's because this clear coat is that soft. It's soft and thin, so you have to be careful. So I'm actually going to take a step backwards in the next section, which has more imperfections, and grab a pad that is even less aggressive. So it's only one small step above the application pad. And we're going to stick with the Kachikami M302. Once again, residue removed, and I do have my towel slightly damp with a panel prep. You don't want to spray a panel prep directly onto a surface right after it's been corrected. The pores are open, the clear coat swelled, and getting a panel prep in there is not a very good idea. Now, you can see the difference. This actually worked better. We took a step backwards, took a little bit of the aggression away. We have less hazing, it's a lot clearer, and we still have the imperfections are gone. Maybe one or two left behind, so maybe a second pass would benefit, but I would leave that up to you. So there we go. We found our team. We found our combination. And if it's in the budget, you can follow that up by applying the black application pad and jewel the surface. When you have clear coat that soft, Sometimes that is a needed step just to bring some clarity out, get rid of the hazing. It doesn't take a lot to cloud up and haze soft clear coat. It's an extra step. If it's not in the budget, it's something you may want to talk to the owner about. If it's your vehicle, I would definitely take the time and do the extra step with a glaze or a jeweling polish or a cleaner polish, and really bring out the clarity of the finish. All right, I have the shop manager awake and alert again, so we'll get back to the finish of this Pontiac G8, and we'll get around it rather quickly and finish it up. Okay, with the painted finishes restored, let's get to the pillars, the B pillars, the C pillars, depending what type of vehicle it is. Their finishes are going to be always rather thin and soft, so I do want you to keep that in mind. Sometimes they are films, wraps, sometimes they're plastic, but this here is a cleared black piano finish. Very soft, so it takes finishing pad, a gloss pad, and a cleaner polish, a very fine abrasive to restore them. Now, I do want to show you on this pad, on the micro polisher, that there can be some transfer every once in a while. Don't get concerned. That's normal. Sometimes it's a tinted clear. Sometimes the material itself just transfers onto the pad. But if you have very light pressure and keep the speed of the polisher down, keep the polisher moving, you will be perfectly fine. It's very rare with today's vehicles that I don't have just about all of my polishers lined up and ready to go to get into some of these tight, intricate areas to get them polished up, corrected, and perfected. All right, this is that extra step I was talking about earlier, and I'll use Extreme Solutions Finale, perfect for that really soft, clear, or the last step right before protection, and I like to team it up with the Car Pro Gloss Pad. Let me show you exactly how this can really give you that extra boost of gloss and clarity, and do a 50-50 on this fender. All right, let me show you. There's quite a big difference here. I really don't care what you use, what pad and combination you use. You can use Angel Wax Perfect Polish, Car Pro Essence, or Essence Plus. They'll give you about the same results. Just wanted to let you know, and you can be aware that that extra step is available if needed. All right, we let it sit overnight. I wait 10 to 12 hours, and it's time to top it before we send the vehicle on its way. And this customer enjoys bead just as much as some customers enjoy sheet. Very slick, very smooth, extremely glossy, and beads like crazy. Relax, take a deep breath, stand back a little bit, enjoy the results. Now, a shop setting can make just about any vehicle look good, so you do want to pull it outside and let the harshest critic take a look, and that's going to be sunlight. That's going to take care of today's video. We covered soft clear coat, we covered car covers, not recommended by me, doesn't matter what the quality, and we also took a look at this gorgeous, rather rare in my area vehicle, and it really sounds incredible. That will do it for today's video. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. I thank you for stopping by and supporting the channel, and I look forward to sharing more information with you in the next video.